All right, today we are starting our geometry unit, but before we start, we need to make sure you have some of the basics. So hopefully a lot of this will just be a quick review for you. So you have your notes page, and let's go ahead and get started. Remember to pause the video at any time if you need to catch up on the writing, okay? All right, so let's first just look at angles. So an angle is formed by two rays with the same endpoint. Remember, a ray is just something that has an endpoint and then it goes forever in one direction. That is a ray. So an angle is just formed by two different rays. All right. When we identify angles, we're going to use the symbol, and then we have to use three letters in the angle. So if I wanted to identify this angle, I would use the symbol angle C, B, A. Or I could say angle A, B, C, A, B, C. And if you'll notice that B has to always be in the middle. That is called the vertex. That's where those two rays meet. Okay, that is the vertex. It always has to be in the middle. All right. The reason that we always use three, especially if we have more than one angle, like if you notice this when I have more than one angle, so if I wanted to identify just this angle right here, I would identify it as Z, U, Y. So angle Z, U, Y. That would be my angle. Okay? All right, so pause that video if you need to take those notes. All right, so a lot of our angles have certain names for them. All right, so I want you to see, I've given you the definition. I want you to see if you know the vocabulary word. So first of all, just look at these first four. If you know these ones down here, that's awesome. But first, let's just look at these first four. So read the definition and see if you can identify what that vocabulary word is. Okay, so pause the video and come back when you are finished. All right, so let's look at the first one. So if an angle is less than 90 degrees, it is an acute angle. A cute little angle, all right? So it's really small there, okay? If it is exactly 90 degrees, it looks kind of like an L there, then that's a right angle. A lot of times they're going to show you it's a right angle by having a little square there to show you that that is exactly 90 degrees. All right? So my big angle, something that measures between 91 and 179, that is an obtuse angle. It's big. That's obtuse, okay? A big angle. All right, and then one you may not know, a straight angle. A straight angle is exactly 90 degrees, exactly 180 degrees, okay? That's a straight angle, okay? All right, the next one you may not be as familiar with. I know some of you have worked on it with Alex, so that's great, but they are called, first one is a vertical angle. So a vertical angle is formed when we have two crossing lines. All right, so if I look at, you see this one right here and this angle right here, these are called vertical angles. What that means is they have the exact same measurement. So if I were to tell you that this one was 55 degrees, then that means this one's 55 degrees, okay? If I were to tell you that this one is 125, then you also know that this one is 125, okay? All right, that's a vertical angle. The next two are called complementary and supplementary. All right, complementary. Complementary just means it's two angles that they add up to 90 degrees. So I've got a right angle here. Okay, I've got a right angle, but it's been broken into two separate angles. Okay, that just means that these two together have to add up to 90 degrees. Okay, supplementary. Okay, supplementary, I've got a 180 degree angle. This is a straight line. It's 180 degrees. We said that last time, okay? But now I've got two different angles there. I've got this one and this one. So both of those together have to add up to 180, okay? All right, not too hard. All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to pause the video, and you have got four angles here, and I want you to figure out the angle. So if you look at this one, I've given you this one, but I want you to figure out what this angle is of this one, okay? Here, I want you to figure out this one. I want you to figure out this angle and this angle, okay? I'm going to tell you they're either complementary or supplementary, all right? So use that information and come back when you have your answer. All right, check your answers. Okay, make sure that you put that degree sign there, okay? All right, if you have questions with those, let me know. All right, so let's move on to triangles. Remember, a triangle is a three-sided shape. Okay, it's three sides. So I want you to pause and see if you can identify. I want you to identify them by their angles and then identify them by their sides. Okay, I've given you the definition. See if you know the name of it. Okay, pause the video and come back. All right, check them by their angles. So three acute angles, that's obviously an acute triangle. If it has one right angle, then it's a right triangle. If it has just one obtuse angle, then it's considered an obtuse triangle. Okay, all right. All right, let's look at it by its sides. I think this is a little bit more difficult for you guys to see. All right, so if it has all different lengths, that's called a scalene. I think sometimes when people get on this is how I remember it. When people get on the scale, all different people, they're all different people. So I don't know, that's how I remember it. All right, isosceles has to have at least two sides the same. Two sides are exactly the same. I think of this as you have two eyes. Like isosceles, okay, two eyes, two sides, okay? And then if all three sides are the exact same, that's called an equilateral. That's an equilateral, okay? Equilateral, equal, okay? All right, and then one thing to definitely need to know is that with the triangle, all of the angles have to add up to 180 degrees. All the angles inside a triangle have to add up to 180 degrees. So that means if I tell you, let's see, this is 51, this is 50, you would be able to figure that out. Okay, so 50 plus 51 is 101, so that means that has to be 79, which does not look like that at all. But anyway, you get my gist, okay? All right. So on your paper, then I have just 5 blanks there, okay, or 7 blanks. So I want you to identify it by its angles, its sides, and then tell me the measurement, okay? So just look at your notes up above. Make sure you are identifying it the right way, its angles and its sides, okay? Pause the video and come back with your answers. All right, check your answers. So we've got obtuse, right, acute, isosceles, equilateral, and scalene. Okay, I will tell you here, an equilateral triangle, the definition of an isosceles is it has at least 2 equal sides. So this one could be considered an isosceles as well. I don't think most people, more specifically, it is an equilateral. Okay, most specific, it is an equilateral. All right. All right, let's move on to quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals is a four-sided shape, okay? All right, so I have all the definitions here, okay? I want you to see if you can name it, okay? If you can name it. All right, so pause the video and come back. All right, the first one, the quadrilateral with just one pair of parallel lines. That is a trapezoid. That's the big deal. A trapezoid only has one pair of parallel lines. This one and this one. Those are the only ones that are parallel. Okay? All right, the next one is a parallelogram. It has 2 pairs of parallel lines. This one is parallel with this one, but this one is also parallel with this one. Okay? 2 pairs of parallel lines. Okay? All right, the next one, a rectangle, is also a parallelogram. But it also has, oops, spell it right. It also has 4 right angles. Okay, it has 4 right angles. Okay, so it is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Okay, all right, this one, a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides is a rhombus, okay? It is also a parallelogram. So all of these here, oops, all of these are also considered parallelograms. These are all considered parallelograms. Okay? These are all parallelograms. And then the last one is a square, okay? A square is a parallelogram with 4 right angles and 4 equal sides. Okay? 4 right angles and 4 equal sides. So all of these are parallelograms. Sorry, all of these are parallelograms except for this one, except for my trapezoid. Okay, my trapezoid is not a parallelogram. Okay. All right, the big thing about a quadrilateral is all of the angles inside have to add up to 360 degrees, have to add up to 360 degrees. Okay, so if I give you 3 sides to the shape, 3 angles, you should be able to tell me the 4th one. Okay. All right, last part is congruent and similar. Congruent and similar. All right, here's the definitions. I think I wrote them down for you, but I want you to make sure that you understand it. So congruent. Congruent means it is the exact same shape. It's the exact same shape. It might have been rotated, like if I look at this shape here, my shape here. So this is the exact same shape. It might have been rotated. See, it's the exact same shape. It might have been rotated. It might have been flipped. Let's flip it left to right. It might have been flipped. It might have just been moved, okay? But it is the exact same shape. They have the same length, the same angles, everything, okay? Similar. Similar means that, obviously, look at them. They are the same shape. However, they're different size, and most of the time they're proportional. Like this one might be like twice as large as this one, or 3 times as large. That just means that if I were to give you, like if I said that this one is 3 and this is 6, you see that that is twice as large. So if I told you this one was 2, then you would be able to tell me what this one is, because it's still twice as large, so that would have to be 4, okay? What you notice about which I think is kind of hard to see, but the angles are exactly the same. So if I put this in there, see how that angle is exactly the same? The angles are exactly the same, okay? But the lengths are not, okay? So that's why it's proportionally the same, which means that this one might be twice as large, 3 times as large, or whatever, okay? All right, so that was a really quick overview. You might not think so quick, but trying my best. So anyway, you have a worksheet to work on. If you have questions on this, make sure and talk to me. Hope you have a great day.